Welcome back again, Gameyaaad family. Thank you so much for joining us for another video. It may sound cliche by now, but there never seems to be a dull moment when it comes on to West Indies cricket. Now, I just want to give you a brief update as it relates to the men's senior team tour of the UK. You know that we have, those ODI matches against Ireland and also England. Now, there has been some development. In fact, due to the military tension between Pakistan and India for the past few days. Now, they would have had, some ceasefire agreement by now. But as you know, the IPL that would have been postponed, right? And given that a ceasefire agreement would have, been, agreed, the IPL would have issued a statement that they are, will resume on May 17, and IPL will be extended up to June 3. Now, this piece of information would put a lot of international teams, into a very difficult situation, because, as you know, there are a lot of foreign players that are currently playing in the IPL. Now, when you look, so we are going to look on the implication of, the IPL extending, and looking on, the impact it would have had on international cricket. Now, the cricket, and let me say this up front, right? Because in every contract, as it relates to IPL, there is a clause in it. It is a French word that is force majeure, right? And what that phrase means is that, if there's an extraordinary event would have happened, right? And such as war or any political tension, any natural disaster, right? And as you know, what is going on in Pakistan and India would have been, political tension. Now, what that clause does is that it relieves the parties of the contract of any obligation of carrying forward the terms of the contract. So, in a nutshell, when anything extraordinary happens, then the parties of the contract has the legal right, to withdraw, their services if they, realize that probably their life is at risk, or, any other thing, could have adversely happened. Now, so given that, clause would have been in the contract, some of the international teams, they would have, for example, Cricket Australia, right, would have mentioned that, they would have, allowed their players to make that decision whether or not they want to go back, right, or not. And most of the Australian cricketers, based on what I have read so far, they would have, opted to stay home because, they would have, thought that their life may be at risk going back to India. I am not sure if the Indian government would have issued any statement to say that, the India is now safe, for foreigners to return. Now, in terms of South Africa, they would have issued a statement to say, because they would have agreed for their players to be, to return to South Africa on May 26th, right? And so they are, upholding that, agreement that they would have made with the Board of Control of Cricket in India, right? As it relates to, because you know that South Africa has, the World Test Championship, and also Australia, they have the World Test Championship to play. And we would have, known that in England would have issued similar statement, like similar to South Africa. Now, it's a very, difficult situation, because the truth of the matter is, there are economic, uh, implications of the foreign players not going back to the IPL. There are a lot of deals, TV rights and all those things, sponsorship. So there are a lot of economic things would have been at stake. Given if there is not, good competition in the IPL, in the remaining, part of the IPL. So it's a very delicate situation, to be honest with you. So let us bring it home now to West Indies cricket. So, you know, West Indies would have had some players who are currently playing in the IPL, who are currently playing for the West Indies. Namely, Shimron Hetmyer, we have Rutherford, Romario Shepherd, uh, Shamar Joseph, and so forth. As it relates to Shamar Joseph, we know that Shamar Joseph has, a multi-year contract with Cricket West Indies, right? And given that Shamar would not have played any matches, during the season, I'm not sure of his reason for going, because I would have read a press release today, and the press release says that Shamar Joseph will be going back, to the IPL, right? But he will be still in the squad for Ireland and England. I'm not sure if that makes much of a sense to me, because I'm not sure if he can be at two places at the same time, right? But I am thinking probably he would have wanted, I guess Cricket West Indies maybe allowing him to go, because I guess it's for future economic benefit, right? Because given that most players are not prioritizing going back to the IPL, so if Shamar Joseph goes back, then next year they may think about selecting him in the auction or whatever. So it could be because of that why he would have gone back, given that he has not played any games this year, right, for the Lucknow Super Giant. Now, Shimron Hetmyer, I don't think the Rajasthan Royals can make it to the playoffs, right? So I'm not sure why he would have given up playing for West Indies, Ireland. Yeah. In fact, the article said that he will be available for the England game or the England series, but he will be unavailable for the Ireland series. And I guess probably, as I said before, it could be that for future economic benefit, they would have gone back to India. Right, in terms of Rutherford and Romario Shepherd, I think Rutherford would be, and Romario Shepherd, they will not be available for those two tour matches in the UK, right? And I mean, it's a very tough situation, because the truth of the matter is, these two series that the West Indies will be playing in the UK, they are very important, or they have very important implication on the 2027 ODI World Cup. So we would have wanted to go with our strongest squad, right? And it's just a pity that those players are not available. To be honest with you, I can't really look on somebody differently for choosing economic benefits, because we know that we cannot play the game for too long, right? And I think that they are trying to get as much economic benefit from the game, given that they cannot play it for a long time. right? So I'm very disappointed, to be honest with you, that they are unavailable. But at the same time, I cannot, beat them for making an economic decision for themselves and their family, right? And so let us look now on the implication of the squad, right? I would have, shared with you the squad a few days ago. Now, so Sheffield and Rutherford will be replaced by John Campbell, right? That one was a bit, surprised, given that John Campbell, I think he had the seventh highest run scored in the Super 50. I was thinking probably that Amir Django would have got the nod over John Campbell, but I think given that Sammy and those they keep on talking about looking on the specifics of the game. So I suspect probably John Campbell would have got the nod over Amir Django, because Amir Django would have scored in excess of 400 runs in the Super 50 tournament, while John Campbell would have scored only 278, right? But John Campbell would have scored at a faster rate, and I suspect probably that would have been the factor why Sammy probably would have selected John Campbell. John Campbell's strike rate would have been 102, right? While Amir Django's strike rate would have been 86, right? So that could have been, I'm not sure, but that could have been, given that they are saying that they are data driven now in Cricket West Indies to make their decisions, right? So, but John Campbell will be available for Ireland, but he will not be available for the England series. And I suspect that they wanted John Campbell to come back to play in that A-team tour, right? Of that A-team series against South Africa A, right? So I think that's the dynamic where that is concerned in terms of Jedediah Blades being included. I know Jedediah Blades would have played, I think he would have been included in the Bangladesh series. So I believe that they want to, just keep Jedediah Blades, close to the team. And I think that is a good thing for his own, development and, gain good understanding of the game around the more senior players. So that the only drawback I'm looking at for Jedediah Blades, replacing Romario Shepherd, is that Romario Shepherd would have been, an all-rounder. And that you will get, runs from the bat of Romario Shepherd, right? As I said, Shamar Joseph, they keep Shamar Joseph in the squad, even though he is currently in India, right? And in terms of Shimran now, Shimran Hetmyer will be available for the England tour. Good to see Hetmyer, back in the West Indies lineup. He was, initially named as part of the squad against Bangladesh last year, but news would have broken that, he would have, fallen ill, so he did not play in that, that tournament or that series, right? So I guess that's a dynamic of what is, going on with West Indies cricket at this point. So this was a short update, as I would have said earlier. All right, so you can share your thoughts and comments down in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining us. Please remember to hit that subscribe button as you are going out, and stay tuned to Gameyaaad TV for much more. A lot of cricket are on the horizon, so stay tuned to Gameyaaad TV. Peace and blessings, everyone. Bello, 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 bello.